AITA for telling my cousins they didn't belong at my grandmother's funeral? My dad's side of our family is quite complicated. He doesn't speak to his brother anymore. They were about 20 years old when they stopped talking, so I had never met my uncle and all of his children before the funeral. My grandmother was a sweet little angel and my family, Dad, Mom and my sister, loved spending time with her. We went out with her every Sunday evening to a restaurant and we loved spending evenings and Christmas with her. My dad was the only one of my grandmother's children to take care of her and to spend time with her. My grandmother passed away about 2 weeks ago. She was 95 years old and her health was impeccable, but in her last week of life, she had to go to the hospital and that's where she passed. My 4 cousins, I had never met them before the funeral, all of them are adults, never went to spend time with my grandmother, so I'd say that hadn't seen her in more than 15 years, so they were children the last time they saw her. They never visited her in the hospital to say goodbye either, while my family was there every single day to be with her and keep her company. Now comes her funeral. I didn't think they would show up. When they arrived, I didn't know who they were, so I thought they were coming to give us their condolences. But, at my horrible surprise, they came and stood beside me to accept other people's condolences. Something in me switched and I became enraged. I was mourning, so my emotions were all over the place, but I don't want to use that as an excuse because I think my feelings were somewhat understandable. In my head, they didn't deserve to receive condolences because they never made any effort to see her all these years. If my family hadn't been there, my sweet grandma would have spent all of those Christmas nights alone. When they started crying and telling people how hard it was and how sad they were, that's when I had to say something. I turned towards them and told them that the line was for family only, and that they didn't belong here. They told me they were family, and that it was their grandmother too. I responded saying that family is supposed to be there for each other, and they never were. As to not ruin the funeral, I didn't scream, I told them while no one was listening. But now that all the emotions I was feeling in that moment passed, I just keep on wondering if I'm the jerk in the situation. Edit, to answer some questions, here's some clarification. My father contacted each one of them to tell them that she was in the hospital and didn't have much time left if they wanted to come and say goodbye. When they were young, they had the chance to know her and they saw her quite frequently. They are now all over 30. So I just wanted to say that they had so many years to get in touch with her and to visit her. So, it wasn't because they couldn't, it was because they didn't make an effort. My dad's brother still spoke to my grandmother and they were quite close, so it's not because they couldn't. I just wanted to clarify that there were no falling out with my dad's brother and my grandmother. So they still saw each other occasionally. Although, I know for a fact that my cousins never went to see her, because my grandma kept telling us how they missed them and hadn't seen them in so long.